everyone, welcome back to Connor 47 Vlogs, and we're going to be looking at the comic haul that I got this week. Now, this is the comics that I got this week as well as last week, because I actually wasn't able to go to the comic shop last week, so I added a few things on my pull list just so that they wouldn't run out, and thank goodness I did, because some of comics just sell out so quickly. Anyways, this is this week's and last week's comics from my haul. Anyways, I got Hornsby and Halo. Actually, this one came out, I think, like last month or a few weeks ago, actually. I got issues 1 and 2 because I wanted to try this series, and it's from the Ghost Machine universe, the same people that are, behind Geiger, Redcoat, in the Image comics. So, Ghost Machine is like a little set of like comics that are kind of like mostly created by Jeff Johns, or like I think he's the head of that. So it's interesting. Some of them are in a connected universe, and some of them are just kind of their own thing. So this comic is called Hornsby and Halo. Really good comic. I would recommend it. So, this is the blank comic version. That's why I'm showing you this cover. So basically, heaven and hell have had problems. That's what this premise is about, for just forever, right? And they made a truce, and the truce is that they send the future queen of hell, and the future king of heaven, to Earth to be raised by humans, so basically, the princess of hell is to be raised by like really good parents, like angelic parents, and then the one from heaven is to be raised by hellish parents. So that was the treaty that heaven and hell put together. They're like, okay, let's have the your guys raised by like the best people, and then here raised by like the worst people. Let's kind of flip the script so that we can understand each other's perspectives and hopefully make peace with that as like a new generation kind of thing. So it's a really interesting premise. The artwork is really nice. It goes well with the series. So I think it's a really good series. Super underrated. I would check it out. It's actually one of my favorite series right now. I did not expect to like it this much. But yeah, I even did fan art of it. Anyways, so we'll put that to the side. I got Venom #2. The all new Venom #2. So this is like basically in the aftermath of recent Venom events. Eddie Brock doesn't have the Venom symbiote anymore. Now he's got the Carnage symbiote, which I think they're gonna touch in a bit. But there's this like mystery of who's this new Venom. It's either Luke Cage, Rick Flag, or I don't know, the journalist from the Daily Bugle. I forgot his name. Robbie Reyes, I think, and some Madam Mask or something like that. Those are the 4 contestants on who this new Venom could be. So it's kind of like it's just kind of a mystery to build up hype for the series, but it's pretty fun. This is like a Venom who's very cocky and just feels like they're like the best Venom ever, but it's not. But they're still likable because they have fun with Venom. This is like the Venom that we would see in the 80s. This is like a fun Venom. I'm really enjoying the series. The mystery is going to be revealed in April, I think, on issue 4 or 5. So yeah, stay tuned for that. Good series. I like it. Here's Geiger. Again, a Ghost Machine universe. So this one's written by Jeff Johns, and this is the return of Junkyard Joe. So for those of you who don't know, Geiger is a self-contained series, and Junkyard Joe is a self-contained series, but they do have like this kind of connected universe thing, and actually it's really well written. And Junkyard Joe has like a separate comic that Jeff Johns wrote, really good also. Really good comic, highly recommend it. The artwork is just amazing. I'll show you like some, look at that. So the Jeff Johns, Gary Frank, Brad Anderson, these are the people that have worked with DC Comics. For example, like in Doomsday Clock, this is the same team that did that. Really, really good comic, really underrated. Yeah, this is the Geiger, issue 10. Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man number 2. I reviewed issue 1. If you want to check that out, I'll probably either link it below or put it up here. But basically, the Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man is a Disney Plus series that's coming out. It's kind of just like its own separate universe. It's not connected to the MCU. The original plan was that it was going to be, but now it's just kind of its own thing. So this is a free official prequel comic. Me personally, I'm really enjoying it. I feel like it's a fresh take on Spider-Man. I know we've seen Spider-Man's origin a lot, but this is like, I don't think we've seen teenage Peter in a while in media, and I feel like it's refreshing, and it's a different version. So you don't have MJ and Gwen Stacy so far. You have like a different person, this like kind of goth looking girl, um, and I think she's a really good like love interest for Peter or friend or whatever it might be. But I think it's really good. It feels fresh, you know. It feels like, yes, it's the same core of Spider-Man, but at the same time, it's like just really refreshing to see something changed, you know? So, I got Spider-Man number 65 and Amazing Spider-Man 65 Points Death, whatever that means. But basically, this is like a tie-in to like the current Spider-Man comic. So you read this one first and then this one, to my understanding. So yeah, I'm gonna read this one first. Actually, this is a really good series, surprisingly. Like, I know Marvel still hasn't rebooted Paul in the Spider-Man mythos. If you know, you know. Um, which is, you know, upsetting, obviously. But at least we have a really good story here. And I think this writer just really, in my opinion, at least here, I don't know about other stuff he's written, but I think here he really understands the essence of Spider-Man. It feels very Spider-Man. I'm very hyped for this series. It's like Spider-Man just fighting for the to, you know, save the world, but like in a fun way. And you know, he's using magic, but since it's temporary, it's okay. It's really good, in my opinion. I'm actually really liking it. I never thought I would like the Eight Deaths of Spider-Man, because they've killed off Spider-Man so much. Or, I mean, they've made the character of Spider-Man be tortured so much that I was just like, are they really going to kill him 8 times again? Like, why do we need that? But it's done in a very creative way, and in Doctor Strange and Doctor Doom are, you know, in the mix. So, really fun series. Can't wait to read this one either. I really want to read this and see what's going on. Different writer, though, so we'll see what's up with that. This is kind of like a tie-in issue. I didn't even ask for the comic shop to give this to me. Like this is in my pull list, meaning I get this monthly from my shop. But I think they probably just, Marvel probably told the people that to add this to people's pull list too. So that's good. Absolute Batman number 4. Really good series. Spoilers just for issue 3. That, not this issue, but the previous issue. If you remember, Alfred and Batman were talking. Alfred was explaining that Batman can't just keep taking on the Black Mask gang because they're just gonna keep coming and coming, and just like it's just a nonstop barrage of Black Mask's gang, and he finally convinces Batman to take the deal that if Batman backs off, then Black Mask will also back off. Something of the sort. I think he actually tells Batman that he's going to give him a huge amount of money in exchange for Batman just like calming down or something. It's got a temporary truce, but obviously there's more to it. And that's what we'll see in this issue. So I haven't had a chance to read this yet, but I'm going to. Action Comics number 182. Basically a new start to Action Comics. With the DC All In, there was like this Action Comics series that was coming out like weekly. It was like a 10-parter. I didn't get a chance to read it, so I don't really know how that was. And I think this is just like a new start to that. So yeah. New Gods number 2. I didn't really like New Gods number 1. I forgot to take New Gods out of my pull list. I just forgot. So, and then they gave me the issue 2, and I was like, okay, I'll give it a chance. I'll give issue 2 a chance. Not really looking forward to it. I'm gonna take New Gods off of my pull list just so I don't really, unless I really like issue 2. But yeah. Titans number 19. So I think this is part 3 of DC All In Titans. We left off with Clock King, as like the main villain, and then it was just kind of like a mini story, and now I guess it's like a new story arc that's gonna go on. So we'll just see what happens. Donna Troy is now the leader of the Titans, and it's a kind of a fun, entertaining series. You can see like this weird, I don't know what this is, like Beast Boy as a penguin, and then I think this is Killer Frost. Aquaman #1. This is like one of DC's most anticipated comics. Just it's one of those comics that's gonna be huge. Has just tried time and time again to really get Aquaman into the spotlight. And somebody that I was talking to was saying that they should just make Aquaman like really own up to his comedic side. People already see him. Maybe like someone was saying like they should just lean into the whole like Batman the Brave and the Bold sort of style of Aquaman, like make him comedic, but like in a positive light this time. And I'm like, that's kind of genius. Like, I would want to read like a light-hearted Aquaman comedy comic. Um, that actually does sound interesting, and it sounds fun. You know, they like the DC makes Aquaman so serious all the time because they want to prove that he's not lame. But anyways, this is the variant cover I got, but this is the original cover. And now Aquaman has like Mera's water kinesis powers. Basically, like he can manipulate water. I don't really like this change because that's what makes Mera really cool. Is that she has that power, and if you give that to Aquaman, like now, what does she have? You know what I mean? But I haven't read it, so maybe there's a good reason for it. Green Lantern Fractured Spectrum #1. This is supposed to be like a new start to Green Lantern. Like this is like a thing that'll like shatter the Green Lantern universe. So I think it's DC's attempt at like getting new readers into Green Lantern. I'm not that big of a Green Lantern fan, but I've kind of wanted to get into it. Even when Green Lantern was popular, I just wasn't that big of a fan. He's not my favorite, but I understand the appeal. Um, so yeah, this is like a start of a new thing that's gonna go on, like a new event, I guess, a Green Lantern event. So we'll see where that heads. The Question, All Along the Watchtower, #3. So this is a mystery between Batwoman and The Question, Renee Montoya. So it's like they have their relationship together, and they have like this history together. So things are kind of awkward, and then there's a sense of mistrust because she had to like arrest Batwoman, or at least question Batwoman for like this murder that, I mean, the security cams literally showed that Batwoman did it, but like she knew that it wasn't her or something had to be going on. So, there was a bit of a clash between them. It's interesting. It's a fun series. I really like Renee Montoya's Question. I grew up with her as Question. I know a lot of people grew up with the Justice League Unlimited version of Question, who was the other guy. I can't remember his name, and he used to be the Question. So I understand if you're not into Renee Montoya as the Question. She's just the one that I grew up with. Nightwing #122. Basically, she and this villain, she's like the kind of like the government. I think she's the mayor of Bloodhaven now. Bloodhaven's the city that Nightwing's in, and she was basically pulling the strings on like being this corrupt police force that just enforces too much power, and she's purposely like starting gang wars, and Nightwing is really trying his best to stop it. And now she framed Nightwing for something that he didn't even do. So it's interesting. I kind of like where this is going. Um, I think it's a fresh start for Nightwing. I think it's a good start in my opinion. I wouldn't say it's like the greatest story of all time either, but it's up there. I think it's a good story. It's a decent start, I'd say. Ultimate Wolverine #1. People are saying good things about this. This is, I think, the maker, um, aka Ultimate Reed Richards, was creating a Wolverine, or something like that. I'm not really sure what the story is behind it, but I'm gonna read this. This is like Marvel is hyping us up for the Ultimate Universe because they already released the comic, 1 year in, which means like it's been a year in the Ultimate Universe, in this new Ultimate Universe, And for those of you who don't like remember or don't know, is that in 2 years in the Ultimate Universe, the Maker was gonna come back because he was stuck in like this kind of time bomb that like froze time for him for 2 years. So next year they're gonna bring the Maker. And it's interesting because they're doing it in real time. Like it's been a year in real life since Ultimate Spider-Man came out, and that was like the start of all this. And I guess they're just gonna do it in real time. So probably next year, December, they're gonna start with the whole like Ultimate saga. So the Lucky Devils #1. This is an Image comic. Don't know what it's about. The art looks interesting. The premise sounded interesting. When I read the premise. So yeah, I'm just gonna try it. I'll see how it goes. I always like getting issue ones that I feel are interesting to give it a chance. And if I don't like it, I don't have to keep reading. So this is Batman Dark Patterns #2. I have issue 1. I haven't read issue 1 yet. I haven't finished it. I read the little preview from it that DC was announcing, but I haven't actually read issue 1. So I got issue 2 released this week, and I need to catch up. So I'm gonna read issue 1, then I'll get to issue 2. Issue 1 looks promising. It's kind of, this is like the old 1989 Batman movie logo, and they do a callback to it as well. Like I think there's a panel where, yeah, like the very first panel, they do like the old way that he would go in the Batcave with the statue thing. So it's very nostalgic, this one. I think it kind of appeals to general audiences too. Like you don't have to know anything about comics really. It's just like if you know who Batman is, that's all you need to read. So yeah, those are the comics from this week. And yeah, a lot of good titles that I picked up this week. I'm really excited to read them. I've read a few of them. I've read Hornsby and Halo. I've read Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. This is a good second issue. I read Geiger, good issue. And I read All New Venom, also good. And yeah, so I'm gonna read these for the rest of the week. I got a little behind, but I'll catch up. So anyways, guys, that's it for this video, and I'll see you on the next one. Leave a comment on what your favorite comics have been this week or this month. And I want to do a video on top comics of 2024. I think it's time to do that video. And yeah, I'll see you next time.